Here we go, folks. Yet another day in the United States where the Democrats prove how utterly insane they are, where the Democrats' unending lust for power leads them to greater and greater levels of depravity. And the irony of the situation is that the Democrats' lust for supermajority powers at all levels of government would have been achievable if they had fought nearly as hard for the American people as they do for illegal immigrants and the citizens of any other country in the world except our own. And the saddest thing of all is that they don't even believe in what they're doing. They don't even believe in their own rhetoric. They're just engaging in the politics of opposition for opposition's sake. It's opposition without a cause. Whatever the other side is for, they are automatically against, which is what is leading them to do such insane things, such as, not that long ago, the Chicago Teachers Union tweeting out a celebration of life to honor the life and legacy of a revolutionary fighter, a fierce writer, a revered elder of Black liberation. Of course, they were talking about Asasta Shakur, who recently died at an old age, who was actually a convicted murderer who killed a New Jersey state trooper and then was able to escape from prison and flee to Cuba. So the Democrats, once again, are celebrating criminals and murderers because it is opposition to the other side. If the other side wants law and order, they're going to celebrate criminals, rapists, and thieves. This is the Democrat Party of today. And if you want law and order, they want crime and chaos, which explains so much about the left's support for Antifa and their complete opposition to ICE enforcing federal immigration laws. And everybody online trying to gain a following by being more extreme than the other people before them, which is escalating the rhetoric as they are directly calling for the assassination of ICE agents, such as what we see here.
You can just kill ICE agents, you know that? You can just kill them. You don't have to hold your phone in their face and ask people when their birthday is and ask people what their name is and then try to find wherever they end up in Los Angeles. You can kill them. This isn't about social media clout anymore. This isn't about video. This isn't about the phone. This is about get a gun and start killing ICE agents. They are deputized corrections officers. Kill them.
The grassroots of the Democrat Party are not even hiding it anymore, folks. They're not hiding how extreme they are as they are out there directly calling for the assassination of ICE agents, for the assassination of federal employees. And what's even more astonishing is the social media companies who were so effective at creating algorithms to target conservatives who dare talk about any subject in a way that the left deemed as off limits would be able to quickly root them out, deplatform them, and make sure that they were censored forever. And yet these same companies can't seem to figure out how to create an algorithm to monitor the rhetoric such as this. And it's not as though coded language was being used in order to trick the algorithms or to escape the algorithms unnoticed. The language was pretty blatant, and yet somehow it doesn't get caught. But if it's a conservative, any little thing would be caught and used as an excuse to deplatform. And all of their calls for violence is for what? Because they're against the enforcement of federal immigration laws? Because they want to support people in the country illegally, even those who are violent criminals? We've already seen it many times over where an illegal immigrant goes out there, kills an American citizen, and the left is quick to go out there, rush to a camera to defend illegal immigrants in this country. And they're especially upset that the enforcement of immigration laws is ramping up. With the passage of the big, beautiful bill, there is more resources to go after people in the country illegally than ever before. And they're going into the safe havens where blue cities have been protecting illegal immigrants for a long time, and the left can't have it, such as what we see here in this video.
And Harris, let me start you on in Chicago's South Side, where there's an apartment building that the federal agent said had been overrun with squatters, and then criminal illegal aliens started bullying that squatter population into submission. They believe there were several wanted individuals connected to South American gangs in that population. So you had all these federal agents come together for an unprecedented effort, FBI, ATF, ICE, and Border Patrol, to overrun that building last night and take control. They detained about 24 people, searching only apartments where no rent was being paid. So far, we don't know if they got the high-value targets they've been tracking. One guy did display a Tren de Aragua tattoo. But the new detainees are being held and processed at this ICE facility in Broadview. This place has become a flashpoint for riots. Around 30 rioters have been arrested since the start of Operation Midway Blitz. 3 guns have been taken off rioters, 5 of them charged federally. And as you mentioned earlier, one of these rioters who's been charged threatened to kill ICE agents here at this facility.
While the grassroots of the Democrat Party are openly engaging in violence and directly calling for the assassination of federal officials, while those who hold elected office and are regularly in the media are trying to convince you that this is an improper use of the National Guard, that this is a sign of fascism with troops in the streets. However, the National Guard is by and large used in a support capacity to protect the ICE agents and other federal agents from being attacked by left-wing terrorists. But even if the role of the National Guard were to be increased to start engaging in law enforcement, would that really be a bad thing after everything that we've seen? After all of the violence that we have seen from Antifa? After all of the violence that we have witnessed year after year in places like Chicago, where local law enforcement, local government officials have been completely incompetent at quelling the violence, and in fact are not only incompetent at it, but they go out there and do everything they can to block and obstruct any action that would try and stop the violence, essentially giving criminals and murderers aid and comfort. And while Antifa, which represents the base of the Democrat Party, are out there engaging in direct acts of terrorism in their efforts to stop the enforcement of federal immigration laws, those in elected leadership are doing everything that they can to try and block Trump's efforts to enforce the law and provide for safer communities by trying to stop them in federal court, as CNN reports here.
Oregon is pushing back after the Trump administration called 200 members of the Oregon National Guard into federal service effective immediately for a 60-day deployment. Trump says the troops are needed to, quote, protect war-ravaged Portland. Attorneys for Oregon have filed a motion asking a federal judge for an emergency order blocking the deployment.
What they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. Controlling the physical territory of our border is essential to national security. We can't let these people in.
And of course, at the end there, I snuck in a clip of President Trump talking about the enemy within, which is driving the left nuts. But of course, he's absolutely right. Remember, when our federal troops are called into service, when they sign up, they are swearing an oath to protect the country from threats, both foreign and domestic. And of course, the left does represent a domestic threat as they wave a flag not associated in any way, shape, or form with the United States, nor is it a flag that is part of any political campaign. And they do so while attacking our federal agents in defense and support of foreign nationals. At this point, folks, I don't think there's really any redemption for the Democrat Party in its current state. And if the terrorism doesn't stop, I would be in full support of President Trump calling up the army itself to go into these blue cities to restore law and order that the Democrats absolutely refuse to do. But maybe that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.